Hello and welcome to Matt Loves Eurovision. It's my Eurovision 2025 Top 37 countdown. It's place number 30, Cyprus, Theo Evan and Shh. Hush, hush, if you know my name, then please don't repeat. Please do click on the subscribe button, ring that notification bell and like, share and comment below. Now, the warm island of Cyprus is next up in my countdown, and while they still await their first win in the contest from 40 appearances so far, they've built themselves into a regular and solid grand final qualifier over the past 10 years, and with just one non-qualification in that period. It's not bad, really, for one of the contest's smallest countries. Theo Evan is next up, and unlike Cyprus's last few artists, he's a Cypriot who's actually born in Cyprus itself. Now, can he keep up their good qualification record? Now, Theo Evan may not sound like the most Cypriot of names, but it's actually the professional name for Evangelos Theodorou. He's a singer-songwriter, an actor and a dancer. He spent some time studying in the US, and he released his first single whilst he was still over there in 2021 before returning to Cyprus, where he's subsequently released a number of other non-album singles. And he was internally selected to represent Cyprus, with his name being released all the way back in early September. I think it was the very first artist announcement of the 2025 season. However, we had a lot longer to wait before we actually got to hear the song, Shh, which was finally released at the end of the national final season on the 11th of March. Now, Shh is a mix of male dark pop and EDM, and the title of the song is a bit of a curiosity, given that the chorus of Hush Hush is far more prominent than the brief couple of times we get those shh sounds in the song. There are a couple of well-known names among the composer team. Elsie Bay, who is a Norwegian singer-songwriter. She entered Norway's Melodi Grand Prix a couple of times. That's their national selection. And she also has multiple songwriting credits for several other MGP entries and indeed other national finals as well. But this will be her first song that she's written. That will be at Eurovision itself. Even more illustrious amongst the composing team is Greek composer Dimitros Kontopoulos. Now this will be his 15th song at the contest, and there are some very famous entries amongst his sort of back catalogue at the contest, including several second and third places. Now, despite this formidable songwriting team, I find myself left a little cold by Shh. The part that sticks out most for me certainly from the other dark pop or EDM entries that we get are the fast spoken or semi-spoken choruses. Yeah, I'm not actually sure I'm that keen on those. And the rest of it seems to me to be a fairly conventional, not bad, but not standout EDM track that I think we've sort of the type of one that we've heard before in terms of the style and the progression. And I think it's also, again, at the moment, it's hard to get a sense of what sort of performer Theo will be. As far as I know, at the time I'm recording this, we are yet to see a live performance of this, and I don't think he is scheduled to appear at any of the pre-parties. Not unusual for sort of Cyprus and Greece not to come to some of the pre-parties. I think they've skipped them to a certain extent over the last few years, which is not a surprise, but it means we don't really get much of an indication of what his live performance is going to be like. Now, in the Eurovision scoreboard, this has got a relatively modest placing at the time of recording this. He's at 26, which is quite lowly, I guess, for something that was quite hyped up as an entry. In the betting odds, though, to qualify, this is currently sitting in 9th place, so in the odds to qualify, though there is quite a gap between the 10th place slot and the 11th place. So I think at the moment the betting suggests that the top 10 are fairly locked in, or certainly more likely. There does seem to be plenty of confidence behind this, though, because the producers have decided to close semi-final 1 with Shh. And that generally is a sign of trust, or a sign that there is some potentially impactful performance or particularly staging that might take place, because they don't like to end on a whimper or something that they feels is quite weak generally. And it's perhaps no coincidence that the creative director, the artistic director for the staging, is the much in demand Sergio Hayen. Now, he has been very busy. He, I think, came to fame last year as the creative director for Ireland, which was very well received and very stunning. He's also been involved in doing all the stagings during the Finnish national final this year, and he's going to be involved, I think, in at least one or two other entries in 2025 as well. So he's a very young guy, but very much in demand. Therefore, I think this is likely to qualify for all of those reasons. Also, the running order spot tends to be so more likely to qualify, certainly better than opening the shows. So I think this will qualify for the grand final. But I'd be surprised if it got any higher than kind of mid-table in the grand final. And that's really where Cyprus have been kind of ending up in sort of recent years, consistently qualifying, but they're not really kind of pushing on into kind of the top part of the board. Certainly not since we had Fuego in 2018 when they were runner-up. Don't forget, you can read all this on my website as well, www.mattloveseurovision.com. But do please let me know what you think of the song and how it will do, how it might do, and do come back as we kind of enter the top 30. So take care for now.